Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Mantra 2.
Kurvanne karmani jijibrishe shatadusamaha evam vahinanyateshtosti na karma lipyate nare. Kurvanne karmani jijibrishe shatadusamaha evam vahinanyateshtosti na karma lipyate nare.
Performing actions alone, here, one should wish to live 100 years. Thus, there is none other than this for you. Action does not stain man. Performing actions alone, one should wish to live 100 years. Thus, there is none other than this for you. Action does not stain man. The second lifestyle. The first lifestyle is Tena Tyaktena Bhunjitam. That is the first lifestyle. Here we are talking about the second lifestyle. Action does not stain a human. Action leaves a stain behind. Always. Action always leaves a stain behind. And here he is making again a contradictory statement, saying action does not stain you. The second lifestyle is introduced here by making this statement. What is the statement? Action does not stain you. By doing action, you will never lose anything. In fact, by avoiding action, you are missing something. So, the first lifestyle is a lifestyle of saying everything is mine, a lifestyle of introverted lifestyle. Jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. We have seen that any number of times. Verse number 3, chapter 3. So, till now he has spoken about the Jnana yogena sankhyanam. Here he says, Iti Sushruma Purvesham, he said in the Bhagavad Gita. Where is it said? It is said in the Isavasya Upanishad. Bhagavad Gita, he said, don't you know this, Arjuna? They have told us there are two paths from the beginning. No. Don't you know this? Where in the beginning it is said? Isavasya, he says it. What is the first mantra said? So much it spoke. I don't know what all it spoke. I forgot all that now. So don't ask any questions on that now. Now the second lifestyle. Beautiful lifestyle it is. Action does not stain human. Nakarma lipyate nare. Nara means human. Naraha means a human being. Man. If you have to literally translate, you have to translate it as man. Because then they will ask what happens to Nari. Because that is, Nara means man. Nari means, so what happens to them? Doesn't matter. Action stains. Here he says, action do not stain. If you have to understand this mantra, you have to understand the situation. What is the situation you have to imagine? Imagining a person working in a coal mine. Imagine that person working in a coal mine, coming any trace of coal dust on him. Can you imagine that? Imagine a person working in the coal mine, and when the person comes out of that coal mine, there is no trace of coal dust at all. How is it possible? Isavasya says that's another possible lifestyle. And also it says the vast majority of human beings belongs to this lifestyle category. That's why it doesn't call it as an inferior lifestyle. It provides an alternative lifestyle. It's an alternative lifestyle, not an inferior lifestyle. Then why do we talk about it like that? If this medicine doesn't work, you are given another medicine. One medicine is given, it's not working. What do? Go and take another medicine. What is the other medicine here? Performing actions alone, one should wish to live 100 years. 100 years is the Vedic wish. The Vedic wish always they say, may you live 100 years. May you live 100 years. It's not that 100 as in number, 100 as in a long. For this also you should remember a society where antibiotics wasn't there. What will be the lifestyle? What will be the lifespan? So 100 years was a huge celebration. Nowadays, all the fellows are not, nobody is going only, isn't it? Nobody is going only. Even though we are saying go, nobody is going. So what nature did? It stopped reproducing. If you guys think you are smart, I am simply stops. And then you do something else. A time will come where you don't want that also to happen. Why? Because 100 years is a wish. What is the wish? What is the wish? Performing actions, you want to live 100 life. We all want to live a life of no activity for a long period of time. First indication. We want a life of no activity for a long period of time. Why did we discover machine? Because machine will do, I need not do, isn't it? So I can relax. And when I can relax, I will be happy. What happened? Machine came. No doubt machine is a very good invention. But what happened out of that machine? More problem now, isn't it? I have to handle myself now and I have to handle the machine also. We all want a long life, but we want a long life devoid of action, devoid of activity. So Upanishad says, performing actions. Kurvan iha. Kurvan iha means doing, performing actions here. Wish to live 100 years. Why? Because what an opportunity to do the Nitya Naimittika karma. And when you are living a life of Nitya Naimittika karma, why will you ever want to stop it? Nitya Naimittika, we are going to see all that. Don't worry, we'll be defining. When you are having a wonderful life like that, why will you ever want a break from that life? So first Upanishad says, performing actions, wish to live don't simply wish to live 100 years. Don't simply ask for longevity. Say, longevity, performing actions. Performing actions. 3 types of actions. Thought, word, deed. Manasam karma, vachikam karma, kayakam karma. Kayakam karma, when you get old, you cannot do. Vachikam karma, you can do. If vachikam karma also you cannot do, manasam karma you can do. Thought, word and deed. Body, if fit, you can do actions. If body is not fit, word. At least you can pray. At least you can say that. Another type of action. If that is also not possible, you can manasam karma. So performing actions through thought, word and deed. Add all that, mantra will make sense. Add all that, mantra will make sense. So performing actions through thought, word and deed, you wish to live 100 years. First. Don't forget the formula. Action does not stain. Action, that's the formula. Nothing is mine is the formula there. Action does not stain is the formula here. That's why they say there's no such thing called retirement, there's no such thing called keep in action till the last breath of your life. Actions do not stain. To an extent where Bhagavad Gita, when we talk about the chapter 3, 4, 5, 6, they say it is an elaboration of this mantra, they will say. Because by action does not stain a person. It's just the statement is made. How to elaborate? Where to go and ask him for explanation now? He simply made it and went. We don't even know who said it. At least he has given us a location behind we can go and ask him. He simply, action does not stain. From our experience, we know action always leaves a stain behind. From our experience, we know action leaves a stain behind. How do we know this? How do we understand the statement then? For which you have to remember. This you should remember. If you understand this, mantra becomes clear. So first we will do that. First you remember this. What is this? Action can be of two kinds. Action can be of two kinds. Doer, actor. Again I repeat. Action is of two kinds. Two kinds of actions you can perform. One is where there is a doer. The other in which there is an actor. Doer will leave stain. Actor will not leave any stain. So what is the lifestyle here now? Actor. Avladha. Summa nadinga. Simply act. Pretend. Action pretending. No. Not in that sense again. That's why the English translation gets very... The English word actor, and we have an actor here. I didn't realize that. We saw all your clipping here. Yeah. So one lifestyle is different. Here the lifestyle that is prescribed is what? Be an actor and not a doer. So what is the second lifestyle? Be an actor and not a doer. Action is going on. Actors come, perform their roles and go. And who's the actors in plural? Your various roles are the actors. There are not very many actors. In you, there are many actors. Understand it like that. In you, in every individual, there are very many actors. What are very many actors means? The very many roles that we have to play are the very many actors. So, what do they do here? The roles that I play, I play. Instead of saying, I am the doer. So, what is the second lifestyle here? Is there a difference between the first lifestyle and the second lifestyle? Can you say which is inferior, which is superior? Can you say that? That's what Upanishad says. Both will lead you to the same goal. Otherwise, always you have been hearing it as what? One lifestyle is superior, another lifestyle is inferior. Grihastha lifestyle is inferior, sannyasa lifestyle is superior. Isavasya is saying, what are you? It means you have not understood that. Here also it is the same difficulty. There also it is the same difficulty. Here also it is the same difficulty. The angle with which we are coming is the only difference. So, actors in plural refers to you, the individual. not various actors. Ganesh. Actors in plural refers to you, the individual, playing various roles. Who's an individual? An individual is combination of various roles put together is the individual. Remove all the roles. Where is that individual? There is no such thing called individual after that. Therefore, what is that he is saying here? While doing, you can be free from the doer. If you remember the actor, you understand that you are not the doer. This also we will not like. This also we will not like. Why this also we will not like? Because we all want to show that we are carrying a huge burden. We all want to show off that we are carrying a huge burden. I have to say that I am carrying that on me. Then only I feel. I cannot say I am. Because if I say I have no burden, I will start it as I am useless. Because it is the burden that you carry makes you believe you are useful. Sir, I should be useful in life. No, sir. Carry lot of burden. Isavasya says, second lifestyle says, perform the roles, but none of the roles sits on you as a burden. Why? Because the burden makes you feel you are very important. Again, if somebody can run 1 mile and you can run 2 miles, you are. Somebody can lift 10 kilos and you can lift 20 kilos. Imagine Atlas now. Imagine the Atlas who is carrying the whole thing on the shoulders. How that person will be. That is how we live our current lifestyle. We live our current lifestyle carrying a burden. So he says, continue the lifestyle, remove the burden. Don't stop this lifestyle. That's the difference now. Are you able to follow the difference here? He said, Kurvanneveha karmani, 100 years live. Abdina, he's not cursing you. He's not, you will suffer for 100 years. How will Upanishad says you will suffer? Why they will say you will suffer? It is so compassionate that we are suffering already. It need not say you will suffer. We are in suffering already. Compassionately they want to get us out. Therefore they are not talking about suffering. What are they talking here? Do not take the load of doing upon yourselves. Here we are talking about a lifestyle of, technically it is called the lifestyle of karma and upasana. In the Vedic Upanishadic terminology, you will not find the word bhakti. You will find the word upasana. The word upasana in the modern day is replaced with the word bhakti. Since you are familiar with the word bhakti, use the word bhakti. But if you really want to understand it properly, don't use the word. It's not a wrong word, but it has a limitation. Use the word upasana. Use the word upasana. It's a much better word. Because upasana tells you that you are only closer. Knowledge tells you the very word upasana tells you the difference. Are you able to follow? Bhakti means upasana. Upasana means closer to God. So there is this that takes you closer to God. So what is the lifestyle here? The lifestyle of karma and upasana. From the word upasana, we started using the word bhakti, and because of using the word bhakti, lot of confusion happened. We are also going to discuss that also. Because of the word bhakti, lot of confusion happened. We start using the word upasana again, at least till we finish the class. After you go back to your karma bhakti jnana, because you will be comfortable with that only. But try to use the word upasana, because the upasana tells you what? where it can take you. Upasana means upa asana. Upa means near. Asana means sitting. So upasana means that which takes you closer to God. So a lifestyle that takes you closer to God. That is called the second lifestyle. But sir, Aikyam didn't happen, no. Even in the first lifestyle also, both will reach the point of Aikyam, which is 15, 16, 17. You take to that route, you will come to 15. You take this route, you will come to 15. So both will lead you to 15. Relief. Looks moksha is possible for everybody here. That's how we say it's a universal scripture. It says if it says moksha is possible only for that limited few, then we should not be even reading this. No. Why should we even sit and read it, which is exclusive for a small people? No. You take to that route and you can come there. You can take this route also and come here. What is this route here? Action. First is action. What are the three types of action? Thought, word and deed. The action, the skill of action, the right attitude behind the skill of action. That is karma and upasana combination. Again I repeat, action, the skill of action, the right attitude that supports the skill. That combination is karma and upasana. Beautiful combination. It's a wonderful lifestyle it is. Again it's a wonderful lifestyle. All the Upanishadic rishis lived this lifestyle. No Upanishadic rishi lived the first lifestyle. Then why do they talk about it? A small people can live that also. That is why. Today when the person who is living the first lifestyle as superior, most of the interpretation of the Shastras that we have heard is from that group, who misunderstood that lifestyle as a superior lifestyle, and when they started interpreting the scriptures, obviously how they will say, this is superior, that is inferior. Upanishad doesn't accept that. It says, that is one marga, this is another marga, and for the vast majority, this marga is prescribed. What is this marga? Karma upasana marga. Because in sannyasa, if you are leaving behind something, in karma upasana also you are leaving behind something. Where is the difference? If I and mine is left there, what is left here? What is left here? Comparative study. The doership is left here. If leaving I and mine is very painful, leaving doership is also equally painful. Where is the difference? This is the logic of it. The Rishi talking is of that caliber only. Okay, understand it like this. All the great sages were Grihasthas, no? Krishna is a Grihastha. In fact, we don't want to be that Krishna, isn't it? Krishna is the Grihastha. Arjuna is Bhagavad. Look at the conversation. Arjuna and Krishna. Look at that combination there. He is a Grihastha. The listener is also a Grihastha. Some, because of the continuity of life as in Purva Karma, the manifestation happens at a very early stage, like a Nachiketas. Again I repeat. Some, because of the Purva Karma thing, manifestation happens very early it manifests. At the age of 8, 10, 12, it manifests. Like Nachiketas. Like a Satyakama. All these people that we talk about. But again there is a Shaunaka. Again there is a Janaka. Again there is a Yajnavalkya, Maitreyi, how did they reach? How did they reach that height? That we don't ask, because we all assume they also reached through ochre robe. No. Upanishad says, what are you talking? How did they reach? They reached through this lifestyle. It means you can take that path and come to me. You can take this path also and you can come to me. Don't say which path is better. Don't be like Arjuna asking question, which is better. Arjuna kept on asking, no? Krishna, as you are glorifying that, why should I do this? As you are glorifying that, why should I do this? He didn't understand that Mimamsa type of analysis. He didn't know. He was carried away by, I don't know what he got carried away by. He was completely misunderstood. Upanishad doesn't want this misunderstanding. Are you able to follow till now? What is the pain of leaving for a sannyasi? I and mine. What is the pain of leaving for a grihastha? Doership. So both are giving up the same thing. One side of the coin is I and mine. The other side of the coin is doership. Again I repeat. One side of the coin is I and mine. Sunil, practically now. Yeah, because he only asked. Every question he will ask. Practically, sir. I don't know what is impractical in this, but are you able to follow Bharat? He says, if I and mine is one side of the coin, dropping I and mine is difficult now. Equally difficult is to drop the doership again. It means both are doing the same thing in effect. Lifestyle alone is different. How to convince, how to educate on this? Upanishad is taking lot of pain and struggle to elaborate it. And what is a lot of strain and pain there he is taking? Nakarma lipyate nare. That is a struggle for that person. Making the statement is a struggle. What is the struggle? Nakarma lipyate nare. Action do not stain. Action will not stain. When action will stain? Only when you say I am the doer, it stains. When you say I am the actor, it doesn't stain. So that's how we started. Are you okay now? That's how we started. You can do it as an actor or you can do it as a doer. If the life of I and mine is filled with darkness and misery, the life of I am the doer is also filled with the same misery and darkness. Correct? Is it a different misery? It's the same misery. It's the same suffering. Therefore, he says, go and work in the coal mine and I'll give you a technique by which no coal dust will settle on you. Look at that. If Upanishad has helped us in that way there, Upanishad is helping again here. So, we feel convinced what they are talking is possible with the current lifestyle. The current lifestyle means certain things has to be changed obviously. Something that person is changing, something this person is changing. So, what is he changing here? If the actor replaces the doer, performing actions for 100 years will continue. Replace it like that, it becomes easy now. Performing actions alone here, one should live for 100 years. Now what you should replace? If the actor replaces the doer, action will continue on the surface, transformation is happening internally. That's how karma purifies. That's how this lifestyle also purifies. Action has to be transformed, not renounced. Second mantra. This is the lifestyle. Action has to be transformed, not renounced. Or when you renounce, you'll go back with the notion that I have renounced. The doership would have shifted to I am the renunciate now. Oh, what kind of a madness is that? You follow? Throughout life, we value. The biggest thing of life is, have you ever observed, nobody will say, I had everything and grew in life? Have you ever heard anybody saying that? Everything was provided to me. Thankfully, blissfully, I grew in life. Can anybody say that? Everybody has to say what? I studied under street light. Isn't it? I studied under street light. I went by walk 10 kilometers. What is that? All a certificate or what? But the mind always likes to believe in suffering as the foundation for growth. Suffering is the foundation for growth. Isavasya says, that way no growth is possible. That way no growth is possible. Do not take the load of doing upon yourselves. Suffering. எவ்வளோ கஷ்டப்பட்டு பண்ண சார் இதை அப்படின்னா you feel very happy. I did it easily, you feel very. That's why if you have to praise somebody, you have to praise their sufferings first. You have to glorify their sufferings. And once you glorify their sufferings, they feel very, very proud. Isn't it? Why a human being thinks like that? Because they believe all growth happens, the foundation of growth is through suffering. Here he says, foundation of growth is not through suffering. The foundation of growth is by performing actions transformed. Growth happens by performing actions transformed. Don't stop the actions, transform. Here comes the biggest statement of the way. Only a Veda, a Upanishadic master will be bold enough to say this. When Arjuna asks a question, should I take to action or knowledge? You have to be extremely bold to say take to action. We don't see it like that. You have to be extremely bold to say take up action. If I have to choose between knowledge and action, what should I choose? Upanishad says action. Krishna told Arjuna action. Arjuna thought, why? I should choose knowledge, no. Don't worry. Upanishad is going to say that. If you choose action, blinding darkness. If you choose knowledge, even greater darkness. This Isa Wasim, you cannot sleep after that. Because the question is, should I choose action or knowledge? Answer is, choose action. But knowledge is glorified. Where was it glorified? It is an alternative path told, that's all. Why? Because there is a category of people like that. No. What do you when there is a category of people like that, you tell that there is alternative path. So it says, to clear the doubt, if you choose the path of knowledge, if you take up action, blinding darkness. If you ignore action and take up knowledge, you are in even greater darkness. Now there is a satisfaction. Avada. Upanishad is accepting us also. Upanishad is willing to accept us also and saying you also have the same potential. It's not that only for them it is so. You also have it. First of all, don't choose between the two, take both. First answer. If you have to choose between knowledge and action, don't segregate, take both. இல்லை சார் ரெண்டெல்லாம் முடியாது, ஏதாவது ஒன்று தான். Say I can't do both. Say one, choose action. Why? Because the path of action is not as dangerous as the path of knowledge. What is the danger of ignoring the path of action and taking to the path of knowledge? What is the danger? Stopping that which you ought to do. Nitya naimittika karma will be dropped. You will be dropping that which you ought to do and taking up something that which you should not do. Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharmo bhayavaha Arjuna. You are taking up something that is paradharmic to you. Don't take it up. Choose this action, because you have to stick to this path of action. Most of the times you will not be hearing action discussed like this. First of all, you wouldn't have. That's why I thought first I'll do only the 2 mantras. I thought for the entire retreat, because so much of things can be told in these 2 mantras itself. But anyway, Upanishad also explains the later, so might as well we'll do the whole Upanishad. Who is a doer? Doer is this. A very weird fellow is this doer. I am the doer. What is the weirdness about this doer? Remember Ramatirtha's example. The person sitting in the train with the luggage on the head. That is doer. How to express doer now? Who is the doer? There is a person in the train sitting with this suitcase on the head. The co-passenger said, why are you keeping the luggage on your head? Why don't you offload it? This person said, I don't want to burden the train. Because the train is carrying my load already. I don't want to give additional burden to the train. What will you tell that fellow? Anyway, the train is only carrying you and the luggage. All that you got to do is what? Offload that. That offloading is called actor. Is not a pretender. That offloading is called the actor. So who's an actor now? In the Vedantic sense, actor means not the one who's imitating, not the one who's pretending, the one who is simply keeping the load down in the train. Why? Because Upasana, Bhakti has taught that person. What? Anyway, everything is provided by the Lord. Anyway, everything is taken care of already. There is a providence. There is a supply already. Why are you taking this extra load on yourself? But the ego likes to take the load. Ego likes to take the load and complain that it is load. And if you say offload, it will say, what will happen to me? Are you able to understand the cyclical madness of this ego? First it will feel very proud by the weight. And then it will complain that it is heavy. You say offload it, what it will say? Now what will happen to me? Even winding path will not help here, doesn't it? Even the winding path is of no sense here. It doesn't make any sense here. Therefore, the second is what? If knowledge is understanding and dropping I and mine, action is understanding, dropping doership. Choose what you want to do. This is the only choice, he says. Able to understand now? Knowledge means understanding and dropping the I and mine. Action means understanding and dropping the doership. Now you choose, because whatever you choose to do, the other will follow automatically. Because it is 2 sides to the same coin. Some will be inspired to say, I will drop the doership. Some will be inspired to say, I will drop the mindness. Upanishad says, doesn't matter, drop. This is the second lifestyle. The lifestyle of, in a very technical term, it's called Grihastha lifestyle. Life of a householder. What does life of a householder means? What does life of a householder means? See, in these 5 days, you are not a householder. Because these 5 days, you are not a householder. Why? Menu is fixed. You need not worry about cooking. So all that you got to do is what? Come, eat. In your house? In your house? Huh? Ellam mannu, isn't it? So, what is a householder life implies now? Duties. A householder life implies duties. Responsibilities. So, if you have to do duties and responsibilities, obviously you need possessions, you need wealth. How can you do your duty without wealth? Therefore, acquisition becomes a dharma for acquiring wealth, becomes part of the duty. Are you able to follow now? Acquisition of wealth becomes part of your duty now. It is not for indulgences or anything anymore. You don't acquire wealth for indulgences. You don't acquire wealth for partying. You start acquiring. Why? Because if you have to do your duties, obligations, you need wealth. Therefore, acquisition of wealth becomes part of the dharma. So, first thing, by acquiring wealth, nothing will happen to you. Because for what purpose you are acquiring makes the difference. Acquisition is not a problem. For what purpose you are acquiring? If you are acquiring for a selfish, self-centered purpose, it's a problem. If you are acquiring so that then only you can perform your duties, obligations, then that very acquisition itself becomes part of your dharma. Therefore, Raj, when you go to college, you need not feel bad because you are also following the same dharma. Are you able to follow? If you have to perform your duties and obligations, you need wealth. For without wealth, how can you do? Sannyasi says, Bhavati Bhiksham Dehi. Anybody gives anything, he will eat. Doesn't worry about it. If nobody gives anything, okay for that meal. Why? Next meal is going to come anyway. Because nobody will die of starvation. You know that? People can go hungry. But death due to starvation and all is because there is a providence. Are you able to follow? There is a providence. Hunger is alright. Starvation, nobody dies. If at all, if anything is happening, it is because of humans' selfishness only. In reality, all creatures can go hungry, will go hungry. But the same divine provides them also. Therefore, a sannyasi lives that kind of a lifestyle. If I get it, I'm very happy. If I am not getting it today, it's seasonal. The next season will come. So, I am taken care of anyway. Here, it's a different lifestyle. What is a different lifestyle here? The person has duties. The person has obligations. All has to be performed. You cannot beg, borrow, steal to do your obligations. You can't go and borrow to do your obligations. You have to do it. That doing is painful. So we want freedom from that painful doing. Second lifestyle says, no, do it. But vasanas will increase, no sir. Here and there, little bit of philosophy they hear, they will come and ask. Desires will go on increasing, no sir. Vasanas will increase, no sir. What will happen? Na karma lipyate nare. Didn't you hear me properly? He will say. The Rishi will say, what, you didn't hear me or what? Na karma lipyate nare. Action will not stain you. Action will not stain you. Action can appear like a covering. It's a shroud. Why? Because you are stainless, nirmala. When your original nature is nirmala, how can anything come and stain? It's not possible. Action can never stain. But we are getting stained because not knowing how to do the action. So here the second lifestyle is what? Know how to do the action. What is the action? All that we are going to, that list is very simple. But the conviction here is what? Action is not an inferior lifestyle. Because people say, "Ungalukku romba easy, sir." For you it is so easy. Look at us, we have so many things to do. How can we still do this? Upanishad says, no, there is no difference between these two. There is no difference between these two. This person is from a different angle, this person is from a different angle. Nakarma lipyate nare. This nakarma lipyate nare lerandha, the concept of karma yoga evolves. The concept of nishkama karma, karma yoga and all that evolves from this statement. What is the statement? Action do not stain. What is the stain? Pain, misery, suffering is the stain. Action cannot cause pain, misery, suffering. Then what causes? Something that you add causes. What is it? Something that you add? Doership. And what is doership? Doership is nothing but carrying a load. Doership is nothing but carrying a load. Upasana comes and says, you are only the doer. Load, you are only an actor. Load is carried by the divine. Upasana. That's how bhakti comes in. That's how bhakti goes with karma and supports it so beautifully. One supports the other. 9 to 14 it will condemn. How did you segregate the two? It will condemn. Since when you thought you can do bhakti alone without karma? From where you got that idea? That is the ninda from 9 to 14. Beautiful Upanishad this is. Because today we have all these problems, no? We think bhakti can be done so separately. Devotion to God is such a separate entity. He says, the Upanishad says, from where you got this idea that bhakti can be done separately? But this person said that person said that, blind leading the blind. But they are all great men. Okay, one-eyed fellow. And one-eyed fellow leading the other. What? Where will they end up? Mundaka also says the same thing. Mundaka also says, Andam tamaf pravish. They all, the one blind person leads other blind person. Where will they end up? Both will end in the pit. Both will break their bones and suffer. And they will complain about the rest. So, two things in this lifestyle correction. What are the two things that you have to correct in this lifestyle? Bhakti is not a separate practice. Take it or leave it. Doesn't make any difference to this Upanishad. He says, it cannot be a separate practice. 9 to 14, 6 mantras he is going to negate all that. I am spending a lot of time in mantra 1 and mantra 2 because 3 to 18 we will just breeze through that. When we go through that, we will know, as said in mantra 1, as said in mantra 2, it becomes easy to correlate. Because he is saying the formula, na karma lipyate nare. How can you say that action does not stain when we know that you touch something, you will leave with the stain? How can you touch something and not get stained. What wonderment is that? What beauty is that? What glory is that? Where you touch it, you live in the coal cell and don't get coal dust at all. How is it possible? If you think you are a doer, coal dust will come. If you understand you are an actor, no dust. No dust. Thus, there is none other than this for you. When he is saying that, what is he saying? The second category, since you don't belong to the first category, you belong to the second category, there is no other path. There is no other path means it's not an inferior path. Don't go and look for the third path now. Sunil. Yeah. Don't look for the third path now. For if that path is not there for you, then this is the other path. Is there a third path? There is no third path. There is the third path. Huh? Any shortcut, sir? Any shortcut? Any mantra, that any diksha that you can give us at the fifth day, that when we walk out, we will walk out like that? Huh? Technique. Okay, I should understand it. Say something by which I can understand it straight away. Na karma lipyate nare. Idoda simple appdi solla mudiyum. But our understanding always says, Prasad, I'll take you. Huh? Na karma lipyate nare. Action cannot stay in a human being. But we all like to have royal diseases. Isn't it? We all like to have ordinary diseases? No. We all like to have royal diseases. Royal diseases means it should be very ordinary cold, isn't it? COVID, oh my God. Even in diseases we want royalty only. Doership is this illness. Doership is this illness. So, because of the burden of doership, ignorantly action is misunderstood as a burden. Are you able to connect now? The burden doesn't come from action. The burden comes from the doership. We say relaxed, relax, relax. When we say relax means don't do, we hear it as, isn't it? When somebody says relax, how would you hear it? Don't do. No. While doing, in doing, relax. Not by non-doing. Na karma lipyate nare. 3, 4, 5, 6. He elaborates it. How action doesn't stain. He talks about karma yoga. He talks about yajna karma. He talks about all that elaboration. But where all this elaboration comes from, that lifestyle also takes you to the same goal. That lifestyle also takes you to the same goal. This lifestyle also takes you to the same goal. Therefore, first thing, you stop comparing which is faster. Don't compare. If you are standing in a queue, Murphy's Law Madri, isn't it? He said it, no? He only said it so beautifully, he said. If you are standing in a queue, all other queue will appear to move faster. Isn't it? Don't be like that. Standing in a queue, simply stand. Don't look there. When you look there, what you will do? You will go there. And then suddenly you will feel this queue moving fast. Yeah. The Indian traffic jam, isn't it? That's how Indian traffic happens. They see one gap and they think, yeah. You will follow? Don't keep. If you see this path, stick to this path. If you see that path, stick to that path. For both are taking you at the same speed to the same destination. Again I repeat. Both the paths are taking you to the same destination at the same speed. Then only both are equal lifestyle that is taking you to. Otherwise, if we say this will take 100 years, that will take 1000 years, what are we saying again? This is inferior, that is superior. Isavasya Upanishad will not accept that. But sir, this is what we have been hearing for so long. You didn't hear it properly. It's not that they were teaching you the wrong things, you were not hearing it properly. Isavasya gives us an opportunity to listen to it properly, directly. That's the only difference. Hear it properly. How you hear it properly? Na karma lipyate nare. Action will not stay in a person. Why? Because action implies duties, responsibilities, obligations. All that requires acquisition. But sir, we have spoken as brahmacharya ashrama, grihastha ashrama, vanaprastha ashrama, sannyasa ashrama and all that. Sannyasa ashrama in the grihastha ashrama. Sannyasa attitude in the grihastha. That is the Vedic vision. Remember that Vedic vision. Sannyasa attitude. At one level, the attitude is, at the first level of life, disciplined indulgences. Lifestyle, paathukonga adha mari. When you are in infancy, indulgences will be disciplined. Okay. Indulgences uncontrolled, undisciplined. What is that lifestyle called? Asurya namate loka. Asuric lifestyle it is. Indulgences, indisciplined is the life of a Rakshasa, Asura, devil. Evil lifestyle it is. So, from that you mature to the next lifestyle. What is the next lifestyle? Disciplined indulgences. You indulge. Discipline it. Middle path. Discipline it. Don't try to move into this extreme and all. Stick to the middle path. For sticking to the middle path is more difficult than moving in extremes. For you can naturally move in extremes. But sticking to the middle path is more difficult. Therefore, disciplined indulgence. All our festivals are disciplined indulgences. That's why if you look at our calendar, how our whole calendar is designed in a year, indulgences will be followed by fasting. A feasting will be followed by fasting. A feasting will be followed by fasting. Now, instead of seeing it separate, make a cycle out of it. What is the cycle? Feasting, fasting. Middle path right through. Middle path right through. Okay. When you follow this, what happens to you? What is the consequence of this lifestyle? There is an inner maturity. There is an inner maturity. There is an inner calmness. That inner calmness we call as inner maturity. That inner calmness opens up the subtler dimensions of life. The inner calmness opens up the subtler dimensions of life. And what are the subtler dimensions of life? The kartrutva. Calling things as I and mine. All this gets negated. All this gets removed. When you continue this lifestyle of inner maturity, inquiry, where you will end up? Nididhyasana, meditation. Self-realization. The sequence is very clear. So, both the people are following the same sequence. Both the people are following the same sequence. This is the Karma Yoga lifestyle. What is Bhakti now? I'll speak a few words about Bhakti now. What is Upasana, Bhakti? As a doer, you think you have a right over the result. Since you believe you are a doer, you believe you have a right over the result. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma paleshu kadachana. As a doer, you don't have a right over the result. First, this is upasana. This is bhakti. As a doer, you don't have right over the result. Then who decides the result? The providence, the divinity. Shakespeare. There's a divinity that shapes our ends. There's a divinity that shapes our ends. Second aspect where upasana comes in is when the result comes, how you receive it. When the result comes, how you receive the result. Prasada, correct. Prasada buddhi it is. Prasada buddhi. It's blessed by God. But failure, sir? Failure, sir? The person will turn back and say, what are you calling it as failure? There is no failure in my dictionary. Because there is no failure. Why? Because it's Lord's prasad. When something is given by Lord, will you call it as failure? The very word that you say, God is giving me failure, it means upasana hasn't started. Because God is not going to give you failure. I didn't know that this is the right result for me at this point of time, which is beneficial to me. That's why it has come. Therefore, it is the result that is beneficial to me, which I cannot understand. That is upasana. That is bhakti. Able to connect now? That is bhakti. Oh, I prayed so much and failure came. Upasana says, the very notion of failure doesn't exist at all. Shankar. Failure kum prasada buddhi kadayadu. Prasada buddhi means saying that there is no such thing called failure at all. Neha vikramanashosti pratyavayo na vidyate. Kramanasha doesn't happen, Arjuna. What are you calling it as failure? From where you got this notion that there is something called failure? It's the doer that is talking about failure. Not a person living this lifestyle. Are you able to follow the difference now? A person not living this lifestyle will only say, this is success and this is failure. A person living this lifestyle will say, there is no such thing called success, there is no such thing called failure. There is only one thing called prasad. Wonderful word is this, prasad. Okay. Prasad means blessed by God. That's why they say, even when diseases come, they don't cry about it. They say, Goddess has come. Why Goddess will come as a disease, they say. Here, diseases comes, they worship. They'll say, Goddess has come. What is Goddess coming in? A non-karma yoga lifestyle will talk about failure. Karma yoga lifestyle says only prasad. But I got insulted by the boss. You will not say it's okay. You will say it's prasad. Why? Because that power that decided what is good for me and gave me all this has decided this is also good for me. Able to follow? Rajabhai. Angadam bhakti varth. That's how in this lifestyle, action and bhakti always goes together. Otherwise, we always have a complaint. What is a complaint? Why I'm trapped here? Why this is not for me? That is better. Anga irundha easier irundirukum. Being here, it is difficult. He says, no. All this language you are talking because you have not taken the second lifestyle. What is the second lifestyle? From doer, shift to the actor. Don't stop the doing. Shift from doer, start saying, I am the actor. Are you okay till now? This is the combination of karma and upasana. So in the upasana, in this second lifestyle, there is no such thing called failure, loss. If you are seeing a failure, if you are seeing a loss, it means your kartritva, your doership is so strong that you are worrying about the failure that's going to happen tomorrow. That's the madness, isn't it? What if I fail? Paralyzed, no? Correct? People simply get paralyzed into thinking, what? What if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't work? What if I fail? There is no kramanasha. Where you understand there is no kramanasham at all, your vocabulary changes. From success and failure, your vocabulary changes to prasad. Hunger becomes the prasad. And you'll be so grateful for hunger. Why? Thank God you are hungry that you are able to enjoy something. Imagine you are not getting hungry at all. You are not feeling hungry at all. Will you say you have conquered hunger? Supposing if my daughter says, Appa, I am not feeling hungry for the last 3 days. Will I throw a party and say she has conquered hunger? What will I say? See a doctor. There is something wrong. So Prasad says that is also necessary. If this is necessary, if success is necessary, failure is also equally necessary. Therefore, both are taken as prasad. When both are seen as prasad, in this lifestyle, there is no such thing called success or failure. Where is the worry? Where is the worry? Where is the anxiety? So, this lifestyle is also not an easy lifestyle. Equally tough or equally difficult as that lifestyle. Otherwise, we always compare and we always feel that is superior, this is inferior. Look at the irony of it. If you genuinely feel it as inferior, you should drop it, no? Why are you not dropping? If you genuinely feel it is inferior, what you will do? You will simply drop it. So, you like the burden. You want the burden. You like the burden. But you say it as though it is pain. Why? Because ego attracts attention. And the easiest way to attract attention is by playing sick. You know that? That's why anybody say I am sick, take the test, you will know there is no sickness. And that person still says I am sick, sir, I can't get up, I can't move. Each and every limb is so heavy, nothing can be done. You complain of burden, the ego complains of burden, the ego wants to attract attention. And the easiest way to attract attention is what? By playing sick. Children do that, no? My stomach is aching. Mother knows there's no stomach ache. Toothache. But still, why they do it? Ego loves the burden. Are you okay till now? Are you okay till now? Why you like the burden is because you can talk about yourself a lot. Again I repeat. Why ego likes the burden? Because then only you can talk about it a lot. Supposing you come out and say, I am having a blessed life. How many times you can repeat that I am having a blessed life? Rajaveer. How long can you repeat it? But then you can say, I am having a wretched life. I am having a miserable life. Can be told for Janmas, you can keep saying it. na karma lipyate nare. That is, Upanishadic Rishi will say, I don't buy this argument at all. Why? Because it's wrong. It's wrong. That's why. It's against. Are you able to follow now? So, na karma lipyate nare says, you are talking about it. Why? You want to keep the burden. Why? Because burden makes you believe you are very important. Burden makes you believe you are very important. Burden makes you believe that you can talk about it. If burden is removed, what will you talk about yourself? Because you can't say I am happy to others. Drishti they will do, isn't it? Because if you say I am happy, they will do drishti. Therefore you have, drishti means evil eye. Evil eye. That's why they will, in this, here they have this culture. Beautiful house they will build and they will put one ugly face in the front they will keep. Why? Because drishti. Drishti means people say, oh yo, this fellow is having such a big house, your house will break. How it will break? Na karma lipyate nare. It will not break. Why? What is this drishti? All that. But then you love to talk about all this. Why? Because in burden, in misery, you can talk about yourself. That's why talk to anybody, they will always glorify their burdens and sufferings. Everything was so good in my life, I am thankful to where I am today. Is the second lifestyle. Again I repeat. Everything in my life so far is so good that I am so grateful to where I am. Yeah. But sir, how much I suffered. Ash. How many times you would have heard the story of the suffering, no? Correct? So every time he says that, now you tell him that. How many times do you listen to the story of, how much I suffered, how much I suffered. The fellow will turn back and say, it's your problem. What can I do about it? It's your karma that you suffered. Why will I, how much I suffered, how I used to walk, how I used to cycle, no electricity, no breathing, no air, no water. How did you survive? Second lifestyle is this lifestyle. Here you say, there was no misery at all in my past. Everything that I needed was provided. Therefore, I am where I am today. So grateful. When you are here today with gratitude, what will you do? You will do that which you ought to do and leave. Like he says, birds leaving no footprints. Birds leaving no footprints. Opposite of that is leaving a footprint. What is a footprint? That's why in Bhakti they say, even when you go to the temple, they will write the entire history, no? A fellow will go to a temple, donate one tube light. One tube light. These fellows go to, tube light is $50 it is. What do you call $50? 50 cents. A fellow will donate something for 50 cents. And he will write his entire family history in that. Donated by so and so. So, why do you have to leave a footprint? Simply, na karma lipyate nare. That lifestyle will not leave any stain. You will also get to the same result. This lifestyle, if you lead, you will also get to the same result. Because of this knowledge, we say Vedanta is practical. If first is superior, second is inferior, forget it. Vedanta is the most, but you have to say, useless knowledge it is. So it's not. If it is making it beneficial to that person, it makes it beneficial to this person also. So it says, what? Na karma lipyate nare. Actions will not stain you. So don't bother about action going to cause something. Even if you don't do anything, you are staining yourself by keeping the doership alive. Again I repeat, even when you stop doing, the doership is kept alive. So staining is anyway happening. If by avoiding action stain goes away, simply stop. No, stain is not that. The doership is still continuing. Since the doership is still continuing, don't connect action causing stain. Don't connect it to say action causing stain. For action doesn't have the capacity to cause stain. It is your doership. What does doership means? Misunderstanding the role as you. This is doership. Again I repeat, what is doership? Misunderstanding the role as you. I play the role of the father. I am not the father. I play the role of the son. I am not the son. I play the role of the husband. I am not the husband. I play the role of the wife. I am not the wife. Why? Because the real face I remember. Remember that? Mask example. We wear mask and looked ourselves in the mirror so much that we have forgotten our real face and the masked face has become our face. So what we call as real face is not the real face. The masked face we started calling it as real face. So this lifestyle says what? Remove the mask. Abdiya, tappu. You didn't hear it. Remember, there is a real face hidden inside the mask. Monogar. Mati sollakudadhu. Remove the mask alla adu solla. In and through the various masks, remember you have a original face. Remembering the original face where the masks is another lifestyle. Are you able to follow? It is not saying remove it. Because if it is saying remove it, then it is not this marga. No. How can it say remove it? It is not saying remove it. It says inside the mask, remember the real face. Remember the real face while you use the mask. Having used the mask so much that you started misunderstanding what? The real face is forgotten. The masked face, you misunderstood it as you. So who's an actor now? Remembering the real face, the mask is worn comfortably. You remember your real face and you wear the mask so comfortably. No burden, no suffering, no strain, joyfully, blissfully. Are you able to follow? This is the second lifestyle. Beautiful lifestyle, this is also. If that lifestyle is beautiful, equally beautiful is this lifestyle. But we have never heard it like this. We have never understood it like that. We always have even as I am saying this, you will still go back and ask the same question. But that is better, no sir. Because we are so conditioned That's why we say we have moved away from the Vedic lifestyle. We have moved far away from the Vedic lifestyle. Performance of obligations is glorified and said it is the path to liberation. Performance of action is glorified. So, now the two paths. Now we have seen it as two paths. Having seen it as two paths, we choose. Freedom is given to you. On what basis you will choose? According to your inner swabhava. Correct? How will I choose? Choose according to your swabhava you choose. If that person's swabhava is that person will choose that. If this is your swabhava, choose this. The freedom is given. Then only it works. A choice made according to your swabhava takes you to the goal. A choice made just because somebody calls it as noble will never take you there. Unfortunately, what has happened? We forgot that lifestyle. We forgot that lifestyle. Even though all our gods and goddesses live in a family, we still believe. Have you ever seen a single god? You cannot see a single god. Raghu, சாஸ்தாக்கே ஆபரண பெட்டியில் என்ன வச்சிருக்கிறாங்க? You know that? Shasta is supposed to be the brahmacharya god, single god. One day he is dressed like a king. You know when he is dressed in that Abharana Petti, what is there? When I saw that, I was shocked. Purna Pushkala image. You know how he will be dressed on that day? On the 14th of January, that Shankranti day, Purna Pushkala. Then only it is complete. Without that Purna Pushkala, without that concert, he is also incomplete. That is Upanishad. So, if Shastaka, you get a different meaning. You follow what I mean? Find that out. Google Pani Parango, they will tell you what is in that. And Shasta is supposed to be a single god. Huh? From where we got this idea? He lived a student life for a period of time. That's all. That life was led for a period of, just as we all had a student life. No. We all had a student similarly. But then, what is the culmination of life for the vast majority? Moksha through Grihastha Ashrama is the practical path for the vast majority. Are you able to follow now? That's why symbolically, even gods are kept as, even gods are seen along with their wives. Ash. All our gods here, Hindu gods will have their wife, children. Have you ever heard gods producing children? How they produce, we don't know. We all know how we produce. How gods produce, we don't know. But they are seen like that. It means what? That lifestyle is not a... What are they trying to say? Are you able to follow? That lifestyle is not a Nishiddha lifestyle. That lifestyle is not an inferior lifestyle. If this is your Swabhava, take to this lifestyle. Why do you have to call it as inferior and believe this is superior? So, first thing Isavasya demolishing is what? One path superior, another path inferior. Swabhavas differ, natures differ. Choices has to be made according to the nature. So, if that is predominantly contemplative based, this is predominantly action based. So, a contemplative lifestyle, active lifestyle. Again, two lifestyle, a contemplative lifestyle and an active lifestyle. Contemplative lifestyle is not a superior lifestyle. It suits that person's nature. What suited that person's nature doesn't mean it is superior. And all the 15-20 people that we know of belong to that category. Thousands belonging to this category went unnoticed, unsung. Therefore, we never knew these people. Are you able to follow? Thousands and thousands lived this lifestyle, went unnoticed, unsung. Therefore, we didn't even know them. So, that 10-15 we know. Yeah. One Shankaracharya we know. One Ramana Maharshi we know. And we think everybody must do that. One Gautam Buddha you know. One Shankaracharya you know. One Ramana Maharshi you know. Everybody wants to do that. Isavasya Upanishad from mantra 9 to 16 will demolish all that. See, foolish people will go and sit there doing all that. It suited that person did. Why do you have to go there? Because it's not your Swabhava. The goal that they reached, you can also reach. The goal that they reached, you can also reach. It means what? Attaining the goal is universal. Two possible lifestyles. One is a predominantly active lifestyle. Another is a predominantly contemplative lifestyle. Both leads to the same goal at the same time with the same speed. அது சீக்கிரம், இது that is fast, this is slow. No. Then you see both on equal plane. Kurvanneveha karmani. Mantra சொல்லுங்க.
Kurvanneveha karmani vibhishetadum samaha evam vahinanyate tosmi na karma lipyate nare.
When it says there is no other path for you, it is not condemning you as useless. He is saying, since you have come to this mantra, it implies this lifestyle suits you. Since you have come to this mantra. Otherwise, the first mantra you should have walked away. Because it's over, no. And then why sit and listen? Having achieved the purpose, you will get up and go. Since you have not got up and moved, you belong to the second lifestyle. If a person can have two tongues and say at the same time two, you will understand it as equal. Because in communication we have to speak like this, we have to say 1, 2, 3. That's why Adisesha, they say 1,000 tongues speaking at the same time. Then you understand how all paths are the same. Now there is no Adisesha talking, no. One person talking. Therefore, how it will be? First that, second this. Why not reverse it? Why not reverse it? Another doubt. Oh, that is a small minority. Talk them and send them away. For we have a lot to talk. Beautiful is Upanishad. See, that is a small minority people. Give them there and send them away. Because there will be a nuisance here. So what do? Eliminate them first. How to eliminate them? You belong, you understood? Now you leave the scene. So don't sit and disturb the others. For we are going to talk differently now. Are you able to understand how it works? This is the sample of Mimamsa type of study. This is the sample. Beautiful is this way of studying, where you are able to see it in a totally different perspective, which all along has been seeing it as hierarchy. All along what we saw as hierarchical, here we understand it as same. Nakarma lipyate nare. Third mantra is very simple. If you don't lead these two lifestyle, you are doomed to disaster. Third mantra, very simple. Yeah. Third mantra, he says, that we will take it up later. With this we conclude for today. And whatever questions are there, we will take up in the evening.